Mental health has come to the forefront of issues that plague the world today, and people are starting to take notice. We have recently seen prominent figures like Selena Gomez, Ryan Reynolds, and even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come out discussing mental health problems they have faced in their lives. This shows that anyone can be battling mental health issues at any point of their lives, no matter the fame or money. Right now, one group of people that face some of the most mental health issues is college students. According to Mayo Clinic Health, up to 44% of college students have reported symptoms of depression and anxiety. Another Mayo Clinic statistic shows that as many as 75% of students who struggle with depression and anxiety are reluctant to seek help. This raises the question to why a high percentage of college students are facing mental health problems and what are the causes for these issues. Southern Miss student Jane Claire Fort talks about her battle with anxiety and how other people may feel that are dealing with similar problems.
I feel like it's very much still stigmatized, and especially in the South. I know I grew up in a family that was like, if you're struggling, we don't talk about it, we face it and we get over it. And that was the game plan. And I felt extremely isolated, and I felt like I was the only person in this world that was struggling really bad with my mental health. And I think that's something a lot of people face, because when you're going through those bouts of anxiety and depression and that panic-ridden feeling all the time, you feel like it's so difficult to do everyday tasks.
Southern Miss students like Fort are starting to come out in droves to talk about their own issues and how the university did or did not help them. Some similar mental health issues that college students deal with are depression, anxiety, suicide ideation and intent, eating disorders, and substance misuse. In a 2021 Healthy Mind study, 22% of college students screened positive for major depression and 41% screened positive for depression overall. Students at the University of Southern Miss have given mixed reviews on the results from the university's Student Counseling Services and Center of Behavioral Health. Fort talks about how the university helped her on her journey.
Like I said earlier, they were really great with working with me with my schedule, but I think that's really all they contributed, which was great. Like, I really needed to be online at the time, but I think kind of offering and talking about the services USM has more, to me, would have probably been more beneficial, because at the time I didn't really know any of the counseling services options that were available, and those really weren't communicated with me. So I think broadcasting that more would have been more beneficial during that period of my life.
Fort's experience is different than other students that attended Southern Miss, as former student Rosemary Pinella talks about how the Center of Behavioral Health helped her tremendously.
So the behavioral health clinic, in no uncertain terms, quite literally saved my life. My therapist at the time really picked me up off the ground. There was a lot of good communication, and she was somebody I felt like I could be really honest about what was going on in my life and everything.
The Center of Behavioral Health helped Pinella get back on her feet as well after she got out of her mental health crisis. These cases show the wide variety of help the university can bring, but why are students still dealing with these issues? In a study from Frontiers in Public Health, it indicates some of the most common factors to why college students are struggling with their mental health. These factors are academic, social, psychological, lifestyle, and physiobiological/genetic factors. While students can face all of these causes in college, academic stress and the frightening reality of taking on more adult-like responsibilities are some of the most common amongst students. Southern Miss student John Benet Kepper talks about the struggles of juggling all aspects of college.
In my head, I'm thinking, I don't have a break, and I have this so-called academic guilt, I guess you could say, because in my head I'm thinking, you have this assignment due, and then a test as soon as you come back from break on Monday. So there was just no rest mentally, maybe physically, but not so much mentally.
Students like Kepper exist all around campus, not knowing how to deal with these thoughts. In a survey conducted by the National Alliance on mental health issues caused 64% of students to drop out and not pursue their degrees. The study also revealed that 50% of students that dropped out did not access mental health services. While you can correlate many things as a cause of mental health problems, one thing that universally does not improve mental health illness is the reluctance of getting help. Fort once again talks about her experience and why she thinks some people are unwilling to get help.
So I think a lot of students struggle with, one, talking about it because we feel like a lot of people don't understand. But what I've learned through the past couple of years is that pretty much everyone has a struggle, whether it's mental, physical, whatever it may be. While we're not all similar in those struggles, we can relate to each other.
Understanding that you are not the only one dealing with problems is becoming a more consistent feeling among students at Southern Miss. Still, there are students and people everywhere that will not be able to relate to that feeling due to the stigma that followed mental health for years. Now, though, people are starting to break from that mold and are unafraid to express their feelings to others if that can help them. Pushing this narrative can set an example for the youth and people that do not know how to counter mental illness. Students like Rosemary Pinella and Jane Claire Fort are some that can say they have been through the worst times, but still recognize that mental health is a marathon, not a sprint.
I think I've come a really long way, but it's never something that comes to an end. It's always continuous.
I'm Nathan Lee, USM Reports.